Welcome back, everyone. My name is Pope, and this is a new episode in our Disco Elysium playthrough. We're not gonna try and punch the racist again because that did not work very well last time. What am I going to do? I have no idea what the hell we're supposed to do anymore. We gotta open the trash container, all that stuff. But that's on the other
I
side of
guess
the
getting
map.
past the man ain't that simple after all. So, what now?
No new dialogue options. Let's go to Fritte. What the hell was
You
this
see
again?
several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are the packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
Nah, I'm way too bad to be able to steal this, but let's continue the yellow theme. Let's continue the yellow theme and put on a raincoat. It's +1 esprit de corps. It's +1 endurance. I want the esprit de corps right now. Yeah, I want to keep the esprit de corps. Okay. Let's check the dumpster.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid.
Great, I can live here now.
Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobo Cop. Dive into that dumpster for extra content. There is, but you won't like it. Sweat forms on your brow. Your hand is still on the lid.
This sounds ominous, I must know.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Great.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements are recorded in your elbows, the methodology in your fingers. You're used to this. No, searching for evidence in the trash. Good practice for dumpster diving. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below, and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Sounds lovely.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Yes, free pants.
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. Drop them in here, officer.
Oh, no free pants.
Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
Sounds amazing. I'm glad I'm wearing gloves.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
Yeah, probably not the best idea.
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something.
I want to punch you so much.
See?
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Interesting.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
No, no, it can't be.
Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it.
Damn it.
You've even got an autopsy form.
Damn it.
If you don't mind my asking, how could you have let your paperwork end up in the trash?
You're asking me? The hell should I know? Yes, I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin.
What are you talking about?
I speaketh the tongue.
Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, bloodletting may well ensue. It will also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Anyway, where were we?
Hobocop time.
Wow, an armistice caliber 50 knock cannon. Half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny.
Did I just find my gun?
It's a giant rifle, and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels.
I'm guessing
However,
I didn't find these things, did I?
And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000. Easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself.
I am into hi-fi.
That's too bad, because none of those things are actually in there.
Damn you.
There's just food waste and crisp wrappings. All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the Yellow Man frolicking in saffron.
Oof. That is not good.
Only in its social sensibility. The container sounds a muffled gong.
I don't want the mug. I don't want the fucking mug. God damn it. I don't want the fucking mug.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
I don't want the goddamn mug.
It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
It's very much...
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work. Just finish your case, detective.
Yeah, that does sound like a better idea.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Amazing.
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Yep. Yep, definitely feels like a metaphor.
Thank you, waterlogged ledger, for spelling it out for us. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Leave it there at school.
If you want it to be kitchen tissue, it can be kitchen tissue.
Yeah. It can be whatever I want it to be.
It's not, though. It's toilet paper. Still wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off your finger and voila, the ledger now looks marginally better.
That's good, at least.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
Somehow I don't think that's what it has.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand, it's a sorry sight. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs.
Any chance any of it is readable?
Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases, undertaken, not completed, mind you.
Did I actually solve any of them?
It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
I'm sure I planned. Oh no, I definitely did burn out.
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
Ooh, am I good at naming this?
A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
These sound amazing.
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Should I tell Kim about my amazing names? Of course I should.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
Yeah, sure,
Good.
that's the one.
That's a good one.
He understands you're concealing something, sire.
But do you also use the titular? Well, so do I. In our defense, officer, almost everyone in the RCM does. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity.
Amazing.
Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
Amazing. Incredibly professional, mate.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
It is an excellent name, mate.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
Yeah, you should.
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event.
Of course, I must find a glorious gold inlaid pen worthy of such an occasion.
The ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It will do, barely. But the lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large caliber bullets on an ammo belt. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
You know, Kim, sharing is caring.
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
I wouldn't have it any other way, mate.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
I mean, we should do poetry, though.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
No, actually. Any ideas?
Shit on a stick. Let's go basic.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name.
Thank you, Kim.
We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Amazing. I am amazing. What can I do? Can I actually... it does not appear that I can actually upgrade my physique or something. Hmm. Strange. What do I want to upgrade? Let's upgrade our conceptualization. Who put the clothes in the trash? Read the watermarks. Okay.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the next world mural. Why, yes, your precinct number is 41. Every
HDB.
last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Horace Debbie Berenger. Nah, I'm not feeling them.
Feeling isn't really the jurisdiction we're in right now. Probably for the best, because HDB feels like bad news from yesteryear. Like shit, honcho. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with the first one.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne.
Wait, is this gonna take actually half an hour?
Cause of failure, rent too high.
The rent do be too damn high.
The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class."
Yes. Yes, amazing.
People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown. The case files do not show you finding the author of the design. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
This sounds amazing.
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Keep it.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us.
All that remains is to wreak havoc.
In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter, and agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next?
The unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
Yeah, that's just a suggestion to me.
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration.
Ah,
The only way for Leslie to stop displaying his genitals and for Burke to stop attacking things
I'm
would be
pretty
for
sure-
them to stop drinking alcohol, which
Nah,
in their
that's a bad
40s
idea.
or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability.
I mean, I'm pretty sure displaying your genitals and trashing everything can amount to can very well amount to jail time under certain circumstances. Some very large amounts of jail time.
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home? No, Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition, because that's where the action is.
Mm-hmm.
Can you keep yourself off the streets? Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years.
I do love that the neighbor's dog is just yapping. Yeah, my dog is completely silent because it's hot as fuck and he just rather lie down. Smart boy. But the neighbor's dog is just yapping, and screwing my recording.
It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Wait, which one is Leslie? Leslie is displaying his genitals.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger.
How dare he? It's my ledger.
He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Sure. No, nobody say police brutality. Nobody saw this.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke.
I'm claiming qualified immunity. Not getting your shit beaten by a plastic board is not a clearly established right. No, it doesn't sound like it's clearly established.
He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore.
Fantastic. Sounds like it won't be much of a problem anymore.
Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
Yay? I did it, I guess. uh, what's violating people's civil rights between friends, right?
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
Square bullet hole murders.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
serial killer.
Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next?
What next? What next is I'm a communist.
Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
Yes, one day. Sure, his name is Scaramanga or something sinister like that. And he's played by Christopher Lee.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
Yeah, they looked cool. That's based.
Yes, as you've said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it was. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it. And smoked
Sounds like a cool
cigarettes
thing.
and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual.
Okay, now it took a turn to the nerd. No. Stop reading so much theory. Do some more praxis.
Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up. And you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Yay!
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes.
Doesn't sound like
you
me.
have a real job to do. What next?
Murder at the hookah parlor.
Murder. Tum at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor. Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Okay, we're gonna get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Was Mills a good cop? Trick question. There are no good cops.
No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes
See,
you've
I told
ever
you.
heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was
Wait, on
the final case.
on the-
Said it was
you know what?
uncrackable. That murderer vanished into thin air.
Can't
That
s-
goddamn hookah parlor.
Can't
was
say
all
it
we
out
talked
loud or
about.
else the algorithm will. not be happy with me.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
I had gathered as much from the title.
No,
Can you get high off
it's
of it?
soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything.
That's dumb. That, that's dumb.
Yeah. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be?
Clearly, he was smoking some kind of explosive hookah.
Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
Yep. And what was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed, piecing it together. Next, not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard. In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
Hmm. That sounds like paperwork. I'm not sure I like where this is going.
3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls. And the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
That much seems to be true.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague.
Maybe I could do some find hunting and keep the money for myself. Yes, very mischievous.
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys.
Sounds simple enough.
The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
I feel like if I shake it, it's gonna fall apart. But let's see what happens.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment?
Ooh.
Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged if something happened to it. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
What color was it again?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
Do look into it.
With your hands, you four-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee, slowly, the slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just, without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Tickets to what?
2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to the zoo in Revachol East. The
Ooh,
aquarium
fun.
costs extra. These let you go there too.
Ooh, fancy.
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored.
That's a weird flavor, but have at it.
A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
Ooh.
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
Who the fuck's Harry?
Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest, down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector. A streetcar distancing. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No, hold on.
What the fuck is happening?
To what? There's nothing.
Hold on to Kim.
Detective, is everything all right?
Did I die again? Did I really die again? Did I die again?
There is nothing.
Oh my fucking god. Not again.
Again. Nothing sad, brother. No treachery. Just blackout.
Ah. We're back in the void. It feels so nice.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you. That's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering. Somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes, that's me. Who was what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Here in the paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
Yes, that. No, it was beautiful.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape, its lack of beauty was not the problem.
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
Pause. Pause sounds good. Can we keep pause for forever?
Yeah, man. What was that about? You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
I'm not coming back. I'm staying in the void.
Oh, but you are. They're pouring something on you. Something in you.
It's delicious. Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone?
Nah, that can't
You
be
need
true.
a secondary form of hydration.
Nah, alcohol is fine.
Actually, beer and cider have loads of water in them.
Exactly.
But these are not the Franco-Nigerian centuries. We are in the present. It is safe to sometimes drink water here.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
What happened?
I came into contact with the burnt out ruins of the past.
That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops.
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
This is great. Ledger of failure and hatred. Can I equip this? Ooh, I can. Hell, hold it on my -2 authority. You will respect my authority. But it gives me more empathy and more inland empire. We'll see. What the fuck is giving me less savoir-faire? Yeah, the horrible things I'm wearing. Ooh, I can move it around. That's great.
Mazovian socio-economics.
Awesome.
0.0000% of communism has been built. Evil child-murdering billionaires still rule the world.
That's not
with
good.
a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over, personally, with his socio-economic theory. It has, however, made him into a very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
No, 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 no. I want to build communism. The fuck is the bow collector? Okay, and white morning. But that is gonna have to be it for this episode. I will see you all next time. Or before that, like, comment, subscribe, all those things that make the algorithm happy. Bye bye.